Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. I'm talking about toe to eye. If you're tired of where you are, tired of waking up every morning feeling like your life is on repeat, like you're stuck in a job you don't love, stuck in a mindset that don't serve you, then lean in. Because I'm about to give you 5 things, just 5, that if you do every single day, I promise you, your life will change. Gratitude is the foundation of transformation. It's not just a feel-good habit. It's a mindset that reshapes how you see the world and how the world responds to you. The moment you open your eyes in the morning, before the noise of the day creeps in, that's your sacred space. That's when your spirit is raw and open. And that is when you need to plant the seed of thankfulness. Because what you plant first will be the tone for everything that follows. When you start your day in a state of lack, thinking about what's wrong, what you don't have, what you're behind on, you program your mind to focus on the negative. But when you start with thank you, even if your situation hasn't changed yet, your perspective does. This ain't about being fake or pretending everything's perfect. This is about acknowledging what is good, what is working, what has carried you. Maybe your bank account is low, but you've still got breath in your lungs. That's worth a thank you. Maybe your job ain't ideal, but it's keeping the lights on. That's another thank you. Maybe your phone isn't ringing with the opportunities you want yet, but you have a phone. You have another day to keep pushing, and there are people who didn't wake up today who would trade places with you in a second. See, gratitude is magnetic. The more you practice it, the more you start to attract things to be grateful for. But it's got to be intentional. Don't just rush into the day. Don't let your alarm clock, your kids, or your calendar start the day for you. You start it. Sit up in bed. Put your feet on the floor and say, thank you. Say it out loud if you have to. Say it until your body believes it. Say it until the stress starts to dissolve and the fear starts to back up. Because you can't be grateful and afraid at the same time. You can't be grateful and angry at the same time. Gratitude makes room. It softens the hard places in your life. And once you get into the rhythm of it, gratitude becomes your anchor. When the day gets chaotic, and it will, you've already centered yourself. You've already chosen peace. Gratitude is not just for the easy mornings when everything's going your way. It's for the mornings when everything feels heavy. It's for the mornings after the bad news, the heartbreak, the layoff, the failure. That's when gratitude becomes your weapon. That's when it reminds you, I've made it through worse. I'm still standing. I've still got a chance. You don't need a big list. Start with 3 things, then stretch to 5. Before long, you'll find yourself grateful in traffic, grateful in the waiting room, grateful even when it doesn't make sense. And that's the shift. Because life doesn't always give you what you want, but it will always give you more of what you focus on. Gratitude is focus. Gratitude is power. Gratitude is the door you open so blessings know where to walk in. Your words have power, not just power over others, but power over yourself, your mood, your energy, your belief system. Every day you wake up, you have a choice to either speak life or speak defeat. That's not just motivation talk, that's real. What you say to yourself in the mirror, what you say to yourself when no one's watching, sets the tone for your decisions, your confidence, and how you show up in the world. If you keep telling yourself you're not good enough, that nobody cares, that you're too late, too tired, too broke, your mind will start making that the truth. Your life follows your language. That's why you've got to speak over your life every single day. You can't wait for somebody else to hype you up. You can't rely on social media likes or approval to tell you you're worthy. It's not their job, it's yours. Look in that mirror and say, I am built for more. I am smart enough. I can figure it out. I have value. Because you do. Even if you don't fully believe it yet, say it until it sticks. Say it until your energy starts shifting. That's how it works. It might feel weird at first. You might feel like you're pretending, But what you're really doing is programming. Your words are instructions to your spirit, and your spirit listens. People walk around all day cursing their own progress and don't even realize it. I'm so stupid. I always mess this up. I can't get a break. They're not jokes. They're not harmless. They're blueprints. And your life builds what you speak. So flip the script. Speak what you want to see, not what you fear. Speak as if your goals already belong to you. Say, this is going to work. My breakthrough is coming. I'm surrounded by favor. I'm connected to opportunity. Even if your current situation doesn't look like that, your words have the power to pull you into the next level. When you make this a daily practice, you build armor. Life will throw things at you. Stress, doubt, disappointment. But when your spirit is already fed with truth, those hits won't knock you down the same way. You'll bounce back faster. You'll hold your head higher. That voice in your head becomes a coach instead of a critic. That changes everything. Don't wait for a stage or a spotlight to start speaking like you matter. Do it in your car. Do it brushing your teeth. Do it walking into that job you're trying to leave. Train yourself to speak blessings into your own life. Watch how your confidence starts to grow. Watch how your decisions start to change. You're not just talking. You're activating something inside you. You're calling things forward. You're refusing to settle. You're making your mind a place where success can grow. Your body is the vehicle that carries your purpose, your dreams, your hustle. If it breaks down, everything else comes to a halt. That's why moving your body every day isn't just about fitness. It's about discipline, energy, and self-respect. You don't need a gym membership, a fancy routine, or hours of time. You just need a commitment to move. Stretch in the morning. Take a brisk walk. Do 10 push-ups. Dance in your living room. Whatever gets your blood flowing and your heart beating, that's enough to start. Movement is momentum. It tells your mind, we're not stuck. It tells your spirit, we're alive. When you move your body, even a little, it unlocks something inside you. You stop feeling like life is happening to you and start feeling like you're taking control again. It's hard to stay in a mental fog when your body is active. It's hard to stay down when your posture is up, your chest is open, your breath is strong. Every step you take, every stretch you hold, every ounce of sweat that falls is a reminder that you're choosing yourself today. People think energy comes first, then movement, but it's the opposite. You get energy by moving. You clear your head by moving. That heavy weight you've been carrying emotionally, it feels a little lighter after a walk around the block. That frustration that's been building up, it releases through motion. Your body stores stress, and movement is how you release it. You also build discipline every time you choose to move, even when you don't feel like it. And that discipline starts spilling into other parts of your life. You start showing up differently, talking differently, thinking differently. You realize, if I can push through this 5-minute workout, I can push through a tough conversation, a slow season, a bad day. Movement teaches you that action beats excuses. That small steps add up. That consistency wins. No matter your age, your size, or your schedule, your body deserves to be honored. Not because you want to look a certain way, but because you want to live a certain way. Movement keeps you in the game. It keeps your spirit sharp, your confidence high, your momentum alive. It reminds you that you still have power over something, even when everything else feels uncertain. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have, and feeding it daily is non-negotiable if you want to grow. Learning something new every day doesn't mean cramming hours of study or reading a whole book overnight. It means intentionally exposing your brain to something that stretches it, sharpens it, and challenges it to expand. It could be a quote that shifts your perspective, a podcast episode that teaches you a new strategy, a 5-minute article about a topic you've never explored before. The key is to never let your mind sit idle, because when it does, it starts to weaken. In this fast-paced world, people are constantly reacting, constantly consuming, but very few are intentionally learning. If you want to stand out, if you want to be the kind of person who leads, who adapts, who stays ahead. You've got to build that habit of daily learning. Knowledge is a form of power, and the more you grow your mind, the more confident you become in your ability to solve problems, to create, to lead. You stop being afraid of new situations because you've trained yourself to become a student of life. And learning doesn't always come from a textbook or a classroom. It comes from observation. It comes from asking better questions. It comes from listening with the intent to understand, not just reply. Every person you meet, every challenge you face, every mistake you make holds a lesson if you're willing to pay attention. When you make learning a lifestyle, you develop a mindset that's always seeking better solutions, better habits, better thinking. Daily learning also fuels your vision. It gives you fresh ideas. It keeps you curious. It reminds you that you haven't peaked yet, that there's more to discover, more to build, more to become. And it keeps you humble. Because the moment you think you know it all is the moment you stop growing. But when you stay a student, you stay open. And open minds attract opportunity. Even 5 minutes of intentional learning can spark a breakthrough. It's not about the quantity, it's about the consistency. You're either growing or shrinking. There's no standing still. When you commit to learning something new every single day, you train your brain to look for possibilities instead of problems, to seek wisdom instead of worry, to move forward instead of settling. Fear is the wall between you and everything you've ever wanted. It's not there to stop you. It's there to ask, how bad do you want it? Doing one scary thing every day isn't about being reckless or fearless. It's about proving to yourself that fear doesn't control you. It's about building courage like a muscle. Courage doesn't show up fully formed. It grows every time you do something uncomfortable, uncertain, or new. That phone call you've been avoiding, that idea you've been sitting on, that conversation you've been scared to have, those are your training grounds. The fear never fully goes away. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. The people who succeed aren't the ones who have no fear. They're the ones who move through it anyway. They feel the nerves, the doubt, the resistance, and they take the step anyway. Every time you do that, even in the smallest way, you chip away at the lie fear tells you. The lie that says you're not ready, you're not worthy, you're going to fail. But each brave action is a reminder to yourself that you are more than your fear. It could be sending the email you've been hesitating on, asking for help, showing up on camera, pitching your idea, speaking your truth, starting before you feel ready. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to be deliberate. If your dreams feel out of reach, start by doing the one thing that makes your stomach turn a little. That's the direction where growth lies. The scary path is usually the one that leads to your next level. Doing something scary each day also rewires your relationship with failure. You stop seeing it as something to avoid and start seeing it as feedback, as learning, as part of the process. You become less afraid of rejection and more focused on resilience. You build a kind of quiet confidence, not because you've avoided discomfort, but because you faced it and lived to tell the story. Courage compounds. One small brave moment leads to another. Eventually, the things that used to scare you become your new comfort zone. And that's how expansion works. That's how you start becoming the version of yourself you know deep down you were meant to be. Fear loses its grip when you keep showing up in spite of it. Consistency is what separates dreamers from doers. It's not about talent, not about motivation, not about waiting for the perfect time. It's about showing up every single day, no matter how you feel. People underestimate the power of small actions done repeatedly. They're chasing big results, but ignoring the habits that create those results. You can have the best plan, the most inspiring vision, the clearest goals. But if you don't execute consistently, none of it matters. There will be days when you don't feel like it. Days when you're tired, uninspired, frustrated, or distracted. That's when consistency matters the most. That's when the decision to show up anyway builds something deep inside you. Because every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're telling yourself, I can be trusted with my future. That's what consistency really is. It's self-trust in action. It's the agreement you make with yourself that says, I'm not going to wait on motivation. I'm going to build momentum. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It means persistence. It means doing your best with what you've got where you are, even if it's not ideal. It's writing 1 page a day, not waiting for the weekend to write a whole book. It's working out for 15 minutes instead of skipping the gym entirely. It's learning one new thing even on a busy schedule. Progress comes from stacking those small wins, and over time they add up to something massive. The truth is, most people give up not because they